Morning, everyone. Welcome to those that are joining on the rebroadcast or the replay. Always excited to see you guys coming in later when I look at it and see how many people are able to jump in then. Welcome, Josie. Someone else jumped in right before. I did not see it. Hello, is it Mara? Welcome to today's broadcast. This is the third in a series of 4. Started out just as food as medicine a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about mostly fruits and vegetables that day, and someone asked me to talk about grains as medicine. So last week we did that. Both of those are on my YouTube channel. If you just if you follow me on YouTube, or you just search for me, Dawn Little, on YouTube, then you can find me. Josie, if you want to type my name in there, then they'll know what to look for on Josie or on YouTube. But both of those previous ones are on there. And today we're going to talk about protein as medicine. Let me turn this around since that. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this because I want to see what the landscape mode is like. Oops. When I upload it to YouTube and see if that's any different. I tried this out last night. I'm not totally sure how I like it. We'll see. Hello, welcome, chaotic and crafty. I like to be crafty. That's one of my passions. Just not as much as nutrition. So I scope about nutrition. Anyway, so for those that don't know me that are jumping on, my name is Dawn. I am a personal wellness coach with Herbalife International. And this scope is not about Herbalife, but if that is something you're interested in learning more about, or you know someone that is, please send them my way. I would love to help them. They can tweet me at gethealthywdawn, which is in my in the title on this, or my email address is gethealthywdawn@gmail.com. So enough advertisement. Now let's go into the meat of today, talking about food as medicine. Let me grab my notes because I took a lot today or last night when I was preparing for this. So I've already talked about fruits and vegetables as medicine and grains as medicine. Like I said, both of those are on my YouTube, just Dawn Little. It'll be kind of a purple picture with my before and now picture. So you can follow me. It has a bunch of my scopes. Hello, welcome. But today we're talking about protein as medicine. So let's get into this. Just for those that haven't seen the others, our food is our fuel. It fuels our body. The different processes in our body, they require different nutrients. You know, whether it's our cells, our circulatory system, our digestive system, our heart, our lungs, our hair, our nails, our skin, they all require different nutrients. And if our body isn't getting those nutrients, then it can't function correctly. And that's when diseases, dis-ease, that's all a disease is our body is at dis-ease. It's unhappy. It's not happy about something. Or the disorders, things like arthritis, diabetes. Welcome, Music Man. So diabetes, the different autoimmune diseases, that there are a lot of them out there and impacting a lot of people. Those all come back to our body not getting the nutrients that it needs, whether it's the basic nutrients that all of our body needs, the macro and micronutrients, which protein is a macronutrient and provides a lot of other nutrients, or even the targeted nutrients that each system needs. If our body's not getting it, it's not going to be performing those functions the way it needs to. Welcome, Donnie. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. I know a lot of people that are impacted, and I'm not saying that nutrition is going to heal something. Okay, your body is what heals it when you give it the right tools. Welcome, Big Jim. When you give it the right tools and building blocks, your body can do what it was designed to do. And that's where the nutrients come in. Welcome, Nate. That's where giving it the right nutrients to do its job comes in. Okay, whether it comes from the fruits, vegetables, grains that we've already talked about, or today we're talking about protein. So, I need bigger pages for my notes, so I turn the page so much. Protein does a variety of things. It regulates multiple messengers within our body, the things that keep our body functioning. Welcome, Razorbark. And it provides the amino acids, which are the building blocks of our body and of the functions in our body. And our body does not store amino acids. So even in all the fat that we store and all the things that turn to fat, amino acids are something we don't store. So if we're not constantly consuming protein that our body can convert to amino acids, then we're going to run out. Our body doesn't have enough to function and to do the things that it needs to do with them. Okay? And a lot of times our body doesn't process the protein and break it down into the amino acids. So that's where we need some digestive enzymes that help with that. And the digestion doctor on here, if you follow her, she talks a lot about digestive enzymes. I know we have a product that helps with the protein digestive enzyme called Aminogen that really helps with that so that you can actually utilize those the protein. So what exactly does protein do for us? Okay, I kind of gave a general. It regulates things. It provides the amino acids, but why do we need them? What specifically can you say that this is what protein does for my body? If someone tells you to stop eating protein, you can tell them, no, my body needs protein and this is why. Okay, these are the things that it actually does. Number one, it regulates your blood sugar, okay, as well as the insulin balance in your body because it digests slower and gets into your blood system at a slower rate. It also slows down your digestion and the breaking down of other foods that you eat with it. Okay, so if you eat the complex carbs and the proteins together, it's going to get into your system a lot more evenly spaced, even timing. The protein also produces hormones that regulate your mood and your sleep patterns. So if you're not sleeping well, maybe you're not getting enough protein. So your body can't produce those chemicals to keep you asleep or get you asleep. So it might be something to look into. Also, mood, that is something I can totally relate to. Welcome, Salon Mara. Because I know, just looking back in my own personal life, when I haven't been getting enough protein in my life, when I haven't been focused on that because I didn't know about it, I was moody. We'll just say it. I was a biatch. I could get there really easy, especially if I hadn't eaten in a while, or I'd just been eating crap food. I think of in high school, I used to show livestock, and we would go long times without eating, and when we did eat, it was crappy fair food. And I look back now that I'm keeping nutrients and protein. I eat, probably 30 to 40% of my nutrients each day come from proteins, which is right about where it should be. And I focus on that. I make sure I'm getting my proteins. That's like number one. Everything else will come. But I look back at those days and I'm like, oh yeah, I could see where at the end of the day, especially when we had long days, yeah, I can just see where I was, and I apologize. If anyone on here knew me then and was around me then, I apologize, because I was not always a fun person. Yeah, okay. enough bad about me. Next thing it does is it actually helps detox our body. Okay, this was something new I learned. I did not know that proteins actually help detox our body by attaching to the toxins in our liver, in the second part of the detox process in our liver, as it's eliminating the toxins. Proteins actually attach to those toxins and help escort those toxins right on out of the body so they don't get sidetracked and decide to stay. That was really cool. I'm like, cool, all the more reason to be eating clean proteins. Now, if you're eating crappy proteins that are full of toxins, I don't know that that really is a benefit because you're putting in as much as you're taking out. But if you're eating clean and you're eating lean proteins, it's going to actually help you detox and get those toxins out of our body that we're accumulating from everywhere. Okay, they also, protein, the amino acids make connective tissue. So it builds up the connective tissue, the skin, the cartilage, even helps with your bones, what connects your muscles to the bones, what connects the muscles to everything. Connecting your skin to the rest of your muscles, that all of that connective tissue that holds everything together. It also builds muscle. And I'm not just talking bodybuilder, though if that's your goal, you need to be eating more protein to build those muscles. But protein or muscles boost your metabolism because it burns more calories just to maintain that muscle mass than it does to maintain fat mass. And you don't want the fat mass anyway. So eating protein makes it so your body can maintain the muscle mass that you have. And if you're wanting to build up a little bit more, then it helps it gives your body the building blocks that it needs to build those muscles. Okay, so that's a good thing, whether you're wanting to be a bodybuilder or you're just wanting to be healthy or you just want to look good. I noticed, when I started my journey, I wanted to get to a size 8 pant because I'd never been in the single digits. And I thought anything smaller than that, most of the people I knew that were smaller than that, people that I knew at that point in time, they were scrawny, they looked bony, and I did not want to look bony. But now I'm down to a 3'4", and I look good at a 3'4", and I'm nowhere near bony. And most of the people that I now know, now that I'm healthier and hanging out with healthier people, look good in smaller sizes because they have some muscle tone. We eat protein and we have muscle tone. And the people that don't eat protein are unhealthy at a skinny weight or a lower weight. You can tell the clothes just hang on them. So if you want your clothes to look good on you, you need muscle. That's the vanity side. The healthy side, if you want to be healthy, you need muscle as well. Protein also helps promote wound healing. So if you get a cut, a scrape, all the way to broken bones, torn muscles, surgery, even, last week I was dealing with a dislocated hip, and I pretty much suffered with it. It really hit me Tuesday. I don't know how I did or when for sure I did it. Tuesdays when it started, I could barely even walk. Welcome, brain nerd. I could barely even walk when I got up Tuesday morning. Had a massage Tuesday morning. That helped. I was better I could walk that day. But as the day was progressing, it was getting worse again. And my massage therapist is awesome. And she told me, she says, if this isn't better by tomorrow, go see your chiropractor. So Tuesday afternoon, I called my chiropractor and made an appointment for Wednesday afternoon. The only thing they had open. Luckily, they had a cancellation so they could get me in. Because Wednesday morning, I could not walk again. I was just limping. It was hard to move. I was, pain level like 7, 8. It was bad. Got in, chiropractor, she adjusted me, and she's like, your muscles are in great shape, but they're tight. This is going to take at least 2 more visits. So we scheduled an appointment for Monday morning. And it hurt all week. It was getting better gradually, but it hurt. I was a little concerned. Saturday I had to do a training, and I was going to be up in front of everyone it was a 50-minute section that I was doing with another person, I was fine. I didn't hurt at all. I was like, wow, that's really weird. And Monday when I went in for my chiropractor appointment, she was amazed at how fast I healed. And I hadn't had a massage in between seeing her, but I was on my nutrition. I was eating my protein. So how much of that was the protein? How much of it was the fact that my muscles are already in good shape because I am physically active, I get a weekly massage, and I have the nutrition all the time versus just during that week? I don't know. But fact is, my muscles and my bones healed really fast, and I feel them. So take from that what you will. Whey protein's good. Some whey proteins are better than others. Just depends on how clean it is. I do both. I don't do a lot of dairy, but I do some whey protein isolate. Okay. Protein also aids in your adrenal and thyroid function. Okay. Hello, welcome. JJ, right? Welcome, JJ. So it helps our glands work and do their job more efficiently. So if you're having adrenal fatigue, if your thyroid isn't working, check into your protein levels. Work with your doctor on how you can control that with nutrition and maybe less medication, more nutrition. Welcome, Lewis. Protein also helps you feel full. So if you are, this is especially important if you're on a weight loss program, okay? And I don't like the word diet. Diet is anything you're putting into your body. But if you're changing up your nutrition to lose weight, a lot of times people complain when they cut their calories, they're hungry. Well, cutting calories is a whole different topic. It's a total fallacy. It really is individual. It depends on how many calories you're eating. But when you're cutting out all the crap food, sometimes people feel hungry. You need to replace it with protein. If you're filling your body with lean proteins, because it digests slower, it helps you feel full longer. That's pretty awesome. And I just learned this too. There's so much out there bad about soy. Well, soy actually has a component in it that helps fight inflammation. Okay, now I'm not saying just go whole hog on soy. I love soy, and I consume plenty of soy. But you need to consider the source and make sure that it is a non-GMO soy. Okay, that GMO crap is bad for you, period. There's just nothing good about GMO, let me tell you. If insects won't eat GMO, why would I want to? If GMO won't break down by itself, why would I want to put it in my body? Okay, and those are some of the characteristics of GMO. It has it's been genetically modified so that it's not, all the nutrition has been genetically modified out of it, we'll put it that way. So stay away from genetically modified soy, but if you can get soy that's not genetically modified, then it is amazing and will actually help with combating inflammation. And I got that from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, the 2007. So that's not just me and my love of soy. But if you think about it, in Asia, that has been their predominant protein source for thousands of years. And look how healthy they are in general. Okay, and they don't have moobs or anything, all the weird hormonal things that people are afraid of soy for. They don't have those issues. Okay. Except maybe the sumo wrestlers, but they're on a totally different nutrition plan. Okay, what are some good sources of protein? What are some good ways to get protein in? Because you have to consider the source. Sorry, that fast food hamburger is not a good source of protein. It's questionable whether it actually has protein. Just saying. But you need to find good sources of protein. Fish is an amazing source of protein. Also has, it's one of the lower calorie for the serving size, so you can have a bigger piece for lower calories. Plus, it is full of omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory, and we do not get enough omega-3s. That is an essential oil our body does not produce. Poultry, chicken and turkey, those are amazing. I like to say, stick to the swimmers and the flyers. So it swims through the water or flies through the air or has potential to fly through the air. That's what you want to be consuming for most of your meat sources. But other lean meats, my family doesn't do a lot of beef, but if you can find grain-fed beef or grass-fed beef, and we'll get to that in a minute, or a lot of the only red meat we really eat anymore was shot up on the mountain, not too far from my house. So elk, venison, wild game, those are great sources as well. Also, the products of the animals, the eggs. Eggs are amazing. In fact, I just learned, I was watching Go-To Kitchen's scope yesterday. I was watching it this morning, but I was watching her scope from yesterday about eggs. That's her topic all week. If you're not following her, she always has great information. But she was saying that the cholesterol that's in the egg yolk actually helps raise your HDL, the good cholesterol, and lower your LDL, the bad cholesterol. So you shouldn't be afraid of the cholesterol in eggs. Eat the whole egg. You need the whole egg. Most of the nutrition is in the yolk. So don't be afraid of eggs. They are amazing. Goat milk and cheese. That actually is closer to mother's milk than cow's milk, which mother's milk is designed for our bodies, right? So goat milk and cheese. And I learned from another friend of mine that raises goats for milk that different varieties of goats, different breeds of goats, their milk tastes different. So if you've had goat milk and you did not like it, do some research and try from different varieties, different breeds of goats. I think it was Nubian, she said, is the most mellow, but I can't remember for sure. But goat cheeses are amazing too. I love goat cheese. Cow's milk, I'm not a big fan of. But if you can get fresh, whole, from the cow milk, that's a different story. Or products, cheeses and stuff made from that, that is a totally different story than what you buy in the store. Because that highly processed stuff, basically they have stripped all the nutrients out. And they might add a little bit back in, if they say it's enriched. They add just enough to call it enriched. But the calcium that's in it at that point isn't the kind of calcium our bodies actually can utilize. So, yeah, I don't even do that. It's not that it's necessarily bad for you, but it's not necessarily doing you any good either. Again, yogurt and Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt. But again, I don't eat a lot of dairy. So I don't eat a lot of those. Watch the sugar in them. You're better off going with a plain and adding your own fruit to sweeten it or using plain for sour cream or anything else. And there are a lot of, I've seen them on Pinterest and just recipes on the web to make yogurt out of like almond milk and coconut milk and different things. Don't have as much protein there. Maybe add some protein to it. But those are good if you like yogurts. Like I said, tofu and other soy products can be amazing. Just make sure that they are non-GMO, which is becoming more and more readily available as people are demanding it. People are starting to see Monsanto for what he is, and they don't want his products. So that is becoming more and more readily available. Look for it, ask for it, because that's how we're going to get it, is if more of us are looking for it and asking for it. But soy as a plant is the highest protein, most complete protein in the plant kingdom. You can also find meats and cheeses that are actually soy-based instead of animal-based. And our bodies can utilize plant-based nutrients better. They're more bioavailable for our bodies. Nuts and nut butter. Okay. I know the digestion doctor says to stay away from peanuts because of a mold or fungus that grows on them. I don't know a lot about that, but I trust her, so I still have to work on getting that one out. But almond butter, is amazing. Cashew butter is amazing. You can make them yourself. They're really easy. Another one, sunflower seeds. You can get sunflower butter. You can even get soy butter. So those are some options for that. Seeds, I like to throw some sunflower seeds into my salads, into everything. I like to just snack on them. Whole grains, they're great. Back to the nuts and seeds, you're better off getting raw and than the ones that are dry roasted or have all this other stuff added to them. You're better off getting them raw. And something else I need to research, but I heard you get them raw and then soak them, makes them more bioavailable, the nutrients, or just roast them yourself just for a couple minutes. Beans, peas, lentils are an amazing source of protein and packed in small little packages. And they don't take as long to cook if you want to get dried, because it's less expensive and you know what's in it and there's no salt added in packaging and whatnot. Lentils don't take anywhere near as long to get ready to cook as other beans. So that's a fast one. We like to cook up my husband uses the pressure cooker, and he will cook up a big old batch of beans that we just keep in the refrigerator and we eat and make things out of. So that we don't, instead of just making the amount that you need for something. So that's a trick for that. Some other things, so those are some great sources. If anyone wants to chime in with anything else they really like that are good, lean protein sources, love it to be community share and community information, get some conversation going. Some important keys are to get a good mix and variety. Okay, don't just eat chicken. Eat chicken and soy and nuts and a variety of different things, because each one has different nutrients. They have the same basic, they have the amino acid or the proteins that give the amino acids, but they have other nutrients packed with them. And so you want to eat a variety so that you can give your body a variety of things. Like I said, you want to make sure that your meats are lean meats, not the high fatty meats. I know a lot of the flavors in the fat, so use seasonings and season them up. Seasonings are amazing. And make sure if you are getting beef that you're getting 100% grass-fed beef. Okay, grass-fed beef is higher in omega-3s, where the corn-fed beef is high in omega-6s, which are inflammatory. Now, our body does need, omega-6 is an essential oil that our body needs and doesn't produce, but we don't need very much of it. Yes, inflammation is important at times, when there's an injury or different things, it has a purpose, but we have a lot more inflammation than we need. That's where a lot of our diseases come from as well, which comes back to the nutrition. And we get plenty of omega-6s in our foods without going after it. We need more omega-3s. So if you're going to do beef, go for 100% grass-fed beef. I know it's a little more expensive, maybe a lot more expensive. So maybe you're not eating beef as much. That's a special treat. That's okay. If you're using dairy, if you're drinking milk, use skim or non-fat milk. Okay, the fats in milk are not the healthy fats, and it's higher in trans fats and the unhealthy fats that we don't need. So use the non-fat or the low-fat milk if you're going to use milk, or just cut it out and replace it. And make sure that you're using plant-based protein sources. And plant-based can be kind of tricky, so you may have to do a little bit of research, but use a variety of them, because, like I said, soy is the most complete protein source in the plant kingdom. Most plants are not a complete source. That means they don't have all of the amino acids needed to be a complete protein and give you everything your body needs as a protein. So you might have to combine 2 or 3 sources. For example, you could have some sesame oil or sesame seeds, probably not the oil, but sesame seeds and brown rice and peas combined give you a complete protein, because the things that one's lacking the other one has. So altogether, they're complete protein. So that might be something that you have to research, find the most complete proteins, or just make sure you're having a variety so that you're getting those in. Okay, so that really is everything, and lots of so's in there. But just a recap how protein acts as medicine. Food fuels our body, and proteins regulate the different messengers in our body, provides amino acids, which our body does not support, or does not store, it utilizes. It regulates our blood sugar and insulin balance, produces hormones that help with regulate our mood and sleep, actually helps detox our body. It makes connective tissue, it builds muscle, promotes wound healing, aids in adrenal and thyroid function, helps you feel full, and soy, above the others, actually helps fight inflammation. Okay. If you came in late and missed anything else, missed the list of the different sources, or where we talked about how food is medicine, then I invite you to jump on the replay and catch that part. There's some good information. Our food really is where our health and nutrition needs to start, is by looking at our food supply, looking at what we're putting in our bodies. Each of us is in control over what we put in our bodies. Unless you are institutionalized and have no control over the food that's prepared for you, you have control. Even children have the ability to say, I'm not eating that. And a lot of times they do, and we say they're picky eaters. And if we have picky eaters, we just need to expose them over and over to the healthier foods. The younger we can do that, the better. I have a girlfriend that her 5-year-old, and has always done this, even when she was 2 or 3, her mom would ask her what she wanted for lunch, and she'd say salad and chicken and broccoli, because that's what she ate. Her mom didn't buy the crap food. She got a little bit of it when she'd go to her dad's house, and so every once in a while she'd ask for a corn dog. But for the most part, she asked for the healthier foods because that's what she knew. So the younger we can start our children, our nieces, nephews, grandchildren, whatever, off on healthier foods, those are the foods they're going to crave, because that's where their taste palette is going to reside. It's not going to be deadened by all of the additives in our processed foods. So stick with the whole foods, stay away from the processed foods. One of my favorite tricks is mostly shop the perimeter of your store, because that's where your fruits and your vegetables are. That's where your meat is. That's where your whole foods are. Now, my Smith's where I shop has an organic aisle. It's very nice. Some of the Smiths have like organic sections in each aisle. We have an organic aisle, so I do shop that aisle. And the frozen food section, that's in the middle. That aisle's pretty easy to pick out. Those are the only places I shop in my store. I don't even go down the other aisles, because there's nothing down there that I want to put in my body. Or more importantly, as a mom of 2 teenage boys, there's nothing down there I want to put in my children's body. So, tomorrow we will be, let's see, what's tomorrow? Look, tomorrow we're going to be talking about meal planning, and how that can make things so much more simple to eat whole foods. So invite your friends. If you got value out of this, please share it. I'd love for people to be jumping on the replay. Follow me. I do a scope every day, Monday through Friday, at about 8:10-ish, give or take a few minutes. I'm shooting for 8 o'clock, but at this point, that's not happening yet. It's usually like 8:05, 8:10 that I'm jumping on here and doing a nutrition scope, just different nutrition topics. We have one more week of this food as medicine. So next Wednesday, we will talk about fats as medicine. And then that will complete this series. If there are things that you want to hear about, tweet me. If you don't know how to tweet from here, before I even close out, you can go to share it on Twitter, either swiping left to right, bottom to top. I don't know with this on landscape. I don't even know where I'm at. So I guess let's see. Okay, even turned on landscape, it's still left to right for the iPhone, bottom to top for Android. And go to Twitter, share on Twitter, empty out everything that's in that box, type the @ gethealthywdawn, which is in my title. It's like the end of my title, so you can see it. And then you can directly tweet me. So if there are things that you would like, nutritional topics you would like to learn more about or would hear more about, I am open to hearing more. That's how this became a series, is someone wanted to hear about grains. And so I'm like, well, if I'm going to do grains, I may as well do all of the sections, all the main areas. So if you want to continue with, have another thing that you want me to turn into a series, if you want something specific, tweet me or email me, which is the same, gethealthywdawn@gmail.com. Just reach out and connect with me, and I would love to expand to some other topics that you are interested in as far as nutrition and how nutrition impacts our health and our wellness, or ways to implement nutrition into our lives. I'm not saying everyone just needs to start with where they're at. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat now. There's always things that you can tweak, new things you can learn, or how unhealthy you are now. If all you're eating is fast food and packaged food, no problem. Let's do one thing different today and implement that one thing. And then what's something else you want to learn about? Let's go there. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. For a living. I coach people to change their lifestyles to become more healthy from wherever they're at, starting wherever they're at, and making steps at whatever rate they're comfortable, whether it's baby steps, giant steps, it's whatever, any of it's going to make an impact for you. And that's what I'm here for, is to help people do that. It's why I'm doing these nutrition scopes. It's what I do when I sit down with people one-on-one, and when I'm coaching them. It's how we're going to change our lives. It's how we're going to actually change the world, because the world will be a better place when we can get rid of all of the crap foods and go back to eating whole foods. And I'm not saying one program is any better than the other, whether it's vegan, vegetarian, paleo. Those are the ones that I hear about the most, and but whatever. I'm more of a moderation. I love. There's a lot of things I really like about paleo, and there's some concepts of why some people are vegetarian or vegan that I totally appreciate. And that's their style. I just can't stick to any of those. There are things that they forbid that I like too much, like beans. Hello, welcome. We're just finishing up, so I invite you to jump on the replay. But real quick, if you have anything you want to say about protein, that's what we talked about, or about nutrition in general. If you have ideas, things that you would like to hear more about, tweet me. I would love to get input of things that the community wants to hear about, that the Periscope community wants to hear about, so that I can empower you to take on your nutrition and your wellness by taking on your nutrition. Does paleo mean grain-free and sugar-free? For the most part. I'm not a paleo expert, but I do know, the one thing I know they don't eat are beans, and I like beans. But I believe they are grain-free and sugar-free. Basically, they go back to how our way back, the paleo time era, how our ancestors way back then ate. Why not beans? I don't know. I think because they didn't eat beans back then. I don't know. I like beans. I eat beans. Beans are a great source of protein. I would not personally cut them out of my diet. And that's one of the things that keeps me from going paleo. But I do know when I'm looking for recipes, if I see a recipe that's paleo, it's going to fit in my meal plan. It's not going to have stuff in it that I won't eat. And then I can just add in what I want to, or have that as a side dish or whatever. So all of them, I just couldn't do any of them. I like my meat. I like my fish, which is funny. I didn't used to, but I love fish. I love chicken. I love turkey, so I couldn't go vegetarian. I love eggs, so I couldn't go vegan. And I think those are important foods in our food plans, in our nutrition plans. But that's my personal, and I totally appreciate people that have a decision to do something different than what I do, as long as it is a healthy, if your meal plan is, I'm going on a fast food diet and all I'm eating is fast food, we got to talk. If all you're doing is processed food, we got to talk. Those I won't support those. Others I will, and I have friends that do those. So I'm fine with healthy meal plan and lifestyles. Not so hip with the not healthy ones. And I want to help people change from the not healthy to the healthy. So that is my whole goal. That's why I do these scopes, and I really do look forward to communications with people. I love it when people participate on here and ask me questions. If you're in tag tribes or love tribes, you can go ahead. Hey, Roz, welcome. We are just finishing up, but you can jump on the replay. We're just kind of chatting for a minute. I love contribution. I want to hear what you guys want to learn more about, because that can help drive my future scopes. Tomorrow we'll be talking about meal planning, and how to eat healthier, how meal planning can help you eat healthier. I'm like you, but my husband eats whatever tastes good. Yeah, my husband used to be that way. But for me, eating healthier was part of my weight loss journey, and now it's a lifestyle, so I don't want to put it all back on, because I had dieted my way that big, and he needs to lose weight. My husband didn't have a lot of weight to lose, a little bit of belly, not a lot. He's lost 27 pounds since he followed me, but finally one day I sat him down and I had my before picture. Okay, I've lost 91 pounds now, but at that point I'd lost 85, so there was a big difference, right? I took that picture and I showed it to him. I said, do you like this person better, or do you like this person better? Not just looks, but how I was as a person. At that point, I was taking antidepressants, which once I got my nutrition under control, I didn't. Yes, I've watched your cooking scope a couple times, and I love the stuff that you've done. Yes, you guys are awesome. And you guys follow Roz. And what's your husband's name on here? Either one. I've jumped on both. I think I follow both of you. But yeah, they do great cooking ones. Go To Kitchens is another great one that gives lots of great information. I love Leslie. Scott DS M6 or Roz Smith 310. Follow them both. Right here you can follow Roz just by touching on her and following her. Go To Kitchens, I just do a lot. Just in Time for Dinner. You know what? Is that you, Roz, the Just in Time for Dinner? Because I think I get emails from that. Yeah, so go To Kitchens. Leslie's awesome. She's doing eggs this week. Last week she did fermented foods, and I learned a ton. And I have some sauerkraut fermenting, and she's gotten me hooked on kombucha. I cannot pronounce it unless I'm looking at it, because I'm that new to it. I've had it twice, and I love it. I'm addicted. I have to get a SCOBY and make my own. I haven't sent emails. Okay, so maybe that's not who I got it from. Yes, kombucha. See, I can say it when I see it. I'm so addicted. And Leslie got me started on those, and they are amazing for your digestive health. Another one, speaking of digestion, is the digestion doc on here. Those are two that every night, if I missed theirs during the day, and Leslie's, I always miss her new ones. I watch them at night. She's awesome. Yes, she is. They both are. Those are a couple of my favorites those are my go-to. I always watch. But Roz, I need to add you into that too. I run out of time at night. But I do. I love following the community of people that are healthy and are wanting to be healthy and are sharing information because I'm learning from them as well. And kombucha is a fermented drink. I have to learn how to make it, but I've had the Synergy brand because that's the one that Leslie had talked about. Oh, your scope is just in time for dinner. Okay, so I knew I had seen it and watched it a couple times. There was my first one I think was something he were doing with sushi. Made a salad with salmon and then was it salmon or tuna? And then just lightly grilled. So it was, oh yeah. It was I need to get me some sushi grade fish so that I can make some of that for me. Because I think that, tuna. And that was the first sushi I'd ever had was tuna. I think the best way to eat fish is raw. My personal opinion. It was awesome. It looked awesome. I wished we'd had smell-o-vision, maybe even taste-o-vision. Where you at? Maybe I'll come over. But yeah, you guys are awesome. And thanks for jumping in and adding to this and starting to communicate with each other. I like to stay on I like to sit here and chat afterwards. New Jersey. Oh, yeah, you're kind of far away. I'm in southern Utah. But I have friends here in southern Utah that are from New Jersey. So maybe next time they go home, I will jump in their suitcase. California. Now, California I can do. Where you at in California, Sherry? I am actually from California, transplanted to southern Utah. I came here to go to school, met my husband, and stayed. Northridge. I don't know where that is. What's it by? I was born in Santa Maria. I kind of lived all over, but we settled in Paso Robles, which is right there by San Luis Obispo area, right where 46 and 101 meet. So what's Northridge by? I go to Southern California periodically. San Fernando Valley, LA. Okay. So I will be the end of March 31st, that weekend. I am most likely going. I know my son is. Yes. I do miss the ocean. That is one thing I miss living here. I live in the mountains, which is my other favorite place, but I do miss the ocean. And Southern California has better oceans than what we had up north. Warmer. It's not that they're better. It's the same ocean. It's just warmer in Southern California. And the water is warmer. But we'll be out there. My youngest son sings, and he's going to be competing at the Heritage Festival in Anaheim that first weekend in April. So I'm hoping to be able to go with them. Partially because Disneyland is one of my other favorite places on earth. I am an addict.
It's true.
Yeah, that's my youngest son. That's my singer. I would have him sing for you, but he has to get ready for school. And I don't know. While his voice is amazing, it doesn't sound as good on video. I don't know why. I recorded him the other night, and I was like, wow, you sounded way better than that sounds. Photobomb. Yes, he likes to do that. He's my boy.
It's a video bomb.
He is 14. I have a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old. Yeah. Then the 14-year-old is most likely to photobomb.
Video bomb.
Oh, video bomb. His name is Sean. He's actually my miracle child. He was born 11 weeks premature, and you would not know it because he's outside of my husband. He's the tallest in the family. Go to school, sweetie. Yep. Wednesdays we have late start in the middle school and high school, and he's in high school, and so he's just getting up.
Out of the shower.
Oh, he just got out of the shower. Now he needs to go make his breakfast and eat it.
Yeah.
Because he has to go early and talk to one of his teachers and figure out how he can pull his grades up. You sing too? Beautiful. I don't know where he got it, because I cannot carry a tune to save my life, which is interesting because at church I got called to be a chorister in our women's organization. I'm like, really?
About me now?
Where did that come from?
What are you saying about me now?
That I don't know where you got your musical ability, because it wasn't from me.
I told you I'm a Time Lord.
He says he's a Time Lord. Karaoke by Smule. Is that an app, or is that a Periscope? It's an app? Okay, I will tell him, because he does love to sing. He's in a cappella this year, which at our high school, that's kind of like everyone starts there. It is an audition one. They took away their just general choir. So they have the a cappella that's everyone. They have a boys choir and a girls choir, I think. I think that's how it ended up settling out. I don't know. I know the teacher. We've known him for a long time. We used to do karate with him. So when school started, Sean auditioned. He told him to put him in already. But the school made him audition, so he'd auditioned. And it's been interesting for him because he's sang for the last 3 years out at the middle school that he was at. It was a charter school. And also went to Anaheim and competed with them. So this will be fun, his second time doing it. But that school, he was a soprano, and then he was a second soprano. And this summer, his voice changed. Yep. This summer, his voice has really started changing, and it's not like through yet, but now he's a tenor, and it's really interesting to hear him sing because even as a tenor, his voice is way deeper than it was when he sings. But he liked being a soprano. He couldn't understand all the boys in 6th and 7th grade that didn't like being a soprano because it's like he got to stand with all the girls. But now that he's changing and he's developing a really good voice, I'm excited for him for whatever he wants to do with it. And that's one homework I don't mind hearing him do. Violin, until they're good, it's not so good. Drums can be annoying to listen to him. I'm glad his chosen instrument is his voice, and it's good. Because I enjoy listening to him practice and do his homework. The others, I don't know. His math, I can't even help him with his homework anymore. Fortunately, my 17-year-old can. But yeah, I have great kids. My older son, who is, welcome, Scott. My older son, who's 17, he's not into singing. In fact, when he was younger when the children at church would sing, I finally told him he didn't want to look stupid. I told him moving his mouth made him look less stupid than just standing there. But he doesn't sing. He avoids it like the plague. But he swims. You put him in the pool, and he's swimming. If he could swim 24/7, he might. He just might.
But he doesn't like swimming in lakes or anything. He hates that. He'd rather swim in a pool.
Hello, Tag Tribes. Welcome. I know your wife's on here too. But yeah. My older son swims, but he eats. He eats good to fuel his swimming. My younger son, he eats to fuel his voice and not be all phlegmy and be able to sing most of the time. He hasn't quite gotten on the bandwagon yet. He's the slowest in the group. You're sitting in adjacent chairs. That's funny. That is really funny. I watched a scope once when I first got on Periscope, and I didn't have anyone I was following, didn't know anyone on here yet. And I was just like using the map. And I saw a couple that they were both scoping from the hotel at Disney World. And they scoped each other. It was pretty funny. Oh, so he can sing solos, duets, and groups with people all over the world. Oh, he would love that. Okay, Sean, we're going to have to get this app for you. Only he doesn't have a smartphone, and my phone's almost full. I have to get a new phone. Then I'll have more memory, and he can use my phone. He doesn't have a smartphone yet. He has to pay for it. And he has to pay for it. We have a basic phone for him. He has to pay for the smartphone. Yes, I have an iPhone, but I have an iPhone 5, and it only has 16 gigs of data. And it's full of apps that I use. You know, sometimes I'll delete a bunch of them so I can do something, but then I end up putting them all back on because I use them all the time. But I'm waiting for, that's what my mom has as a 4S. I'm waiting for she went to college through Liberty by singing and touring. Wow. Cool. I was gonna say, my mom has a 4S too. I'm waiting for the 6S to come out, because then I figure the 6 will drop in price a little bit, and I'll upgrade to a 6. And I'm going to get, more important than the 6 is getting it with more memory. So then I can do stuff. It's frustrating when I'm doing a Periscope and it says that I'm out of data, so it won't record. But, okay, what time is it? Does anyone know what time it is? My laptop turned off. Oh, 9:05. I've got to get going. But this has been fun, just hanging out and chatting. Guys, jump on the replay, watch the first probably half hour. Yes, I had to up my data plan. I share with my 17-year-old, but he's typically on Wi-Fi. But, okay, and I'm going to have to rewatch this and I'll write that down. He will like that. He'll like that a lot. So yeah, watch all of that, share it. But this has been fun. Maybe I'm going to do more scopes. Like my weekend scopes might just be get on and chat with people. I'll invite all my friends and say, hey, let's just chat about nutrition and whatever. That'd be fun. You have a great day too. I'm going to go hang out with all my friends at my nutrition club that I run during the day. That's my job. It's great. I decide my hours. I say when we're open. Hey, welcome, Sarah. We're just jumping off, but love it if you jump on and watch the replay. There was some great information. And then we hung out and chit-chatted for a while. So you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow when we're talking about meal planning, and we will continue the food is medicine next Wednesday with fats. We'll conclude it then. So you guys have an amazing day, and say bye, Sean.
Bye.
And
Bye, Sean.
I will talk to you guys later. Bye.